Hi ho, everybody, and welcome to the Kingdom Compass podcast, where we talk about the good, point you towards the goods and bads of all things Disney. I'm one of your hosts, Griffin Tennell, Griffy D-Pad, and with me, as always, is the wonderful, the amazing Mr. Mitch George. How are you doing?
I have an issue.
Is your issue Pokopia?
No, my issue is having spent 12 hours in a goddamn airport in the last 2 weeks.
I was wondering if we were going to talk about that.
We're going to talk about it because I'm not happy. I mean, I'm happy now in hindsight, but like only if. Okay, so there are a number of air travel protections in Canada. One of them is a delay of more than 5 hours. Every adult is compensated with $1,000 cash. I want my money, Griffin.
You know, are you going to get it for this one? Because you were stuck in the US.
I have disputed it. They have 30 days to respond before I raise it with the Canadian Transit Authority.
I wish you the best of luck.
Me too.
And also expect you to get jack shit.
Nothing whatsoever. They might reimburse me for the milk I had to buy.
Yeah, like... Welcome. It sucks here. We got a lot to talk about today, Mitch. It's been a little bit since we've had an episode. I don't actually remember.
I still haven't watched Zootopia 2.
We were saying
12 hours in an airport.
We kept saying like, okay, this is where we're going to talk about Zootopia 2 now that it's like out on Disney Plus. You can have the time.
I sat down last night to watch it and fell asleep 15 minutes into the
movie. I
have
not rewatched the movie,
but because I'm so tired.
I'm really tired too, but for completely separate reasons.
Yeah,
I'm just a psycho, apparently. Of course, folks. Well, I'll get into that in like our "What else have we been doing" segment. But yeah, let's maybe hit the rigmarole first. What's up, y'all? Thank you for listening to us. This is the Kingdom Compass podcast. We're talking about all things Disney and occasionally non-Disney, more on the TV side of things. We're doing a whole Disney news segment today. So if there's anything you have wished to hear us talk about, please let us know in the comments on our YouTube page, youtube.com/@KingdomCompassPod. Of course, we have a weekly show where we talk about episodic television. And guess what, people? It's coming back this week.
This week?
This week, Mitch.
No.
Yes. Daredevil season 2 is this week.
The end of March.
Well, my birthday is on Saturday and it does not, or on Sunday, and it does not feel like it.
I need to write that down so I don't forget to wish you happy birthday.
Oh, you're fine. I'm quiet about it.
Oh, you weren't quiet there, so now it's going to go on the calendar every year. So this is on you.
Boo. Yeah. We're going to be talking about Daredevil.
Sunday or Saturday?
Sunday. Sunday.
Perfect.
Yeah. Daredevil season 2 is coming, so we are going to be going episode by episode with that one, talking about it each and every week episodically for our enjoyment and for yours. So please go check that out. It's on the same podcast feeds, and it's on our YouTube channel. Just looking for the Kingdom Compass TV. Of course, this isn't the only thing we do. We also have shorts that are primarily parks content. A couple of really fun ones I've put up recently. I was very, very happy with the Aerosmith one for the last day of the ride, which, by the way, was insane.
I can only imagine, and I'm kind of upset I missed it, but, it is what it is.
I mean, when you were quite literally waiting in line to get into the area, and we are like backed up almost all the way to the theater, like it was genuinely like kind of insane. But I got that one. We also got one up right now for the Flower and Garden Festival, checking out some of those topiaries. So go check those out on the shorts page. I think the Flower and Garden one is partially blocked for some reason.
I put your name wrong in my phone, so now it's correct.
Oh, well, see how it is. But it should be fine. I don't know how this all works. Anyways, go check those out. Now, all that said and done, like I said, we got Disney news, a few different things we're going to be hitting. We got new release dates. We've got some news coming out of Paris. We've got the investor call, and most importantly, we will be talking today primarily about the brand new Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer. That's probably where we're going to start, because let's be honest, we're really excited for Spider-Man Brand New Day. But before we jump into any of that, Mitch, what you been up to? What are you playing? What are you watching? What are you doing?
Playing Pokemon, because they released 3 Pokemon games on the Switch in the span of like 3 weeks, and it's killing me that I haven't finished any of them. Those being Pokemon Pocopia, which is an Animal Crossing like life sim area simulator type deal that Griffin has obviously fallen in love with. I'm not usually about these games, but you put Pokemon in it, I'm gonna give it a shot.
70 something
And
hours
then they've
in, it's
re-released Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green for the Switch as standalone purchases, and they re-released Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness on the Switch to Nintendo GameCube Switch Online for expansion pass members only. There's too many words.
I want to play that at some point because I
I've never played it.
Yeah.
I've never played it. I didn't have a GameCube. I played through Coliseum last year, so I'm very excited to jump into that one as well. But I haven't been able to get through any of it for a couple of reasons. One, I'm tired all the time. Two,
Yeah.
I've started binging Paradise on Hulu.
Oh, what do you think?
It is phenomenal. I honestly really want to do an episode on the 2 seasons, 1 season 2 wrap. So I would suggest giving that one a start, Griffin.
I watched the first
really good.
episode and I was like, this is a crazy premise, and I love that.
It's insane and it gets crazier. I'm about halfway through the first season. Can't stop watching it. So highly recommend that. Sterling K. Brown is a phenomenal actor, and everything he does, this being no exception. And then the third thing that I've been up to, I mentioned the airport. I was at Walt Disney World for a week.
You did, yes. We got to hang out.
We did. It was weird, but it was great.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. We did a couple of days at Disney. Got to meet Griffin in person for the first time, so that was awesome. Went to a Blue Jays spring training game, which was a lot of fun, except for sitting in 90-degree weather with a toddler, and the sun was not the best call. So
the sun is a deadly
laser. Around and found shade a lot. And spent a couple days at the beach. Very chill, very relaxed. And then the 2 days at Disney that were absolutely insane, because they always are, but it was nice to get down there for the Flower and Garden Festival, which you mentioned. It had just started when we went down, so we were able to experience some of that. And then, having a toddler and taking them to Magic Kingdom and meeting Mickey Mouse and riding Dumbo and all the things you think to do when you have kids. It wasn't for him. The trip was more so for my mom than anyone else. She wanted to make a trip to Disney when she could still enjoy it. But no, it was wonderful. So other than the return airport experience, but rest of it was great.
Yeah, it was great having you guys down here, and it was really fun to watch you get to experience that with your kid. It was,
and also just experience some of the restaurants I've never tried either. We had some really good meals while we were down there, surprisingly.
That we had dinner at Kona Cafe, I think is the name.
Kona Cafe at the Polynesian Resort.
That place was
a
incredible.
Lot of fun. It was. The
for what
atmosphere,
I would say for what I was expecting. I was not expecting much of that place, and then I was like, oh, this is actually really good.
The restaurant and the vibes were kind of mid. The food blew me away.
Yeah, I was very, very happy with my meal. That would have absolutely killed you.
It wouldn't have killed me. I just wouldn't have enjoyed it very much afterwards.
Yeah,
it was chicken, and I can't eat that. But my salmon was wonderful. We did a meal at Boathouse, which I'd not gotten to go dine at before. That was really good.
Yeah, I was happy to show you guys that place. I love that. It's still one of my favorites.
Yeah,
down here for a good reason.
I've determined that my Magic Kingdom park break is no longer going to be at the Grand Floridian. While that was nice, just walking past Captain Cook's while we were at the Polynesian, I'm like, all right, now this is the vibe. This is where I want to be. Especially because we went to the Dole Whip counter at the end of our day. It was the perfect way to end a Disney trip, and one of us got our Dole Whip for free, which was great.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they gave my mom hers for free as a magical moment. It was really, really good.
Oh, I love that.
Because we said it was her first, and she's like, well, you're not paying for your first. So that was really great. So shout out to that cast member. Did a great job. It's like the Poly is now, I think, going to be our midday break just because the food at Magic Kingdom is kind of not great. But also, we did this trip as a mix of a bunch of different things. So we didn't stay at a Disney resort. We weren't in the bubble the whole time. We didn't have the resort mugs or any of that stuff. But I think the next time that we do stay on property, that the Poly is still going to be the break of just go there, quick break from the park, refill a mug, come back. But yeah, no, it was a great time.
Yeah, it was really fun. That the other thing I'll shout out that we did was the Beacon Barrel at Magic Kingdom, was the Pirates of the Caribbean.
That was really great.
Bar. One
of the few places in the Magic Kingdom where you can purchase alcohol,
which I proceeded to immediately go back a couple days ago.
It's I wouldn't say it's worth a regular trip because those drinks was expensive, but
for drinking,
it was definitely worth the experience, and just drinking in Magic Kingdom feels taboo, which was fun.
Yeah, especially for cocktails. Like that, as far as drinks in the park go, that's pretty on par. So I was really, really impressed by the place.
Yeah, the drinks were phenomenal. But yeah, I'm thinking Magic Kingdom, like it's there. I think Be Our Guest, you can get alcohol, but I don't know if they have actual like cocktails.
I know you can get it at Skipper Canteen. I think it's like it's restaurant specific, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like you can get them at sit down restaurants. That's really it.
And Club 33.
Yeah, and they're very particular there, where it's like you're not allowed to take the drink.
Yeah, no.
That was an interesting thing because like Oga's at Hollywood Studios is like, yes, by all means, like, do you want one for the road? Whereas this one was like, no, you are not allowed to step outside these doors with liquor,
Yeah.
which I thought was very fascinating.
Very on point.
Mm-hmm. Very cool in there, though. Highly recommend it. Like I said, short coming soon. The thing I want to shout out that I've done, obviously, I've also been playing Pokopia. The game is absolutely incredible. It has taken over my life, Mitch. I don't sleep anymore. I just play Pokopia.
You should probably sleep.
But Pokopia, I was playing on Friday night going into Saturday, super late, and I had a thought, and I was like, "There's a Ren Fair happening in Florida right now. I should go check it out." And so I then proceeded to, mind you, played Pokopia entirely through the night. Did not sleep that night.
Should have just skipped the fair, Griff.
I should not have done that. This was not planned, Mitch. Not a single bit of this was planned. I'd wanted to go down to this Ren Fair, and I just, yeah. Anyways, I was like, yeah, I'll get in the car and drive 3 hours and go check down to Deerfield Beach and check out the Florida Renaissance Festival.
And you could have done that anytime between now and the end of the month.
Yeah, I could have, but I'm busy next weekend. So, yeah, it was really fun. I love a good Ren Fair. This one was one of the bigger ones I have seen. It is such a good time. If you, especially like y'all listening to a Disney podcast, y'all gotta check out a Ren Fair. Like that, I feel like Renaissance Festival, don't get me wrong, there's a double-edged sword of it becoming more and more popular. Of, hey, I love that something I love is getting attention. But also, man, I miss when it was easy to go to these. It's a good time. It's whimsical as all hell. There's music and art and
me immediately
food.
trying to see if there are any options for Ren Fairs up here if you come to visit this summer that isn't me just taking you to Medieval Times dinner and tournament.
Oh yeah, no, do not take me to Medieval Times.
I can't eat there. I have to get the vegetarian meal.
I vehemently dislike Medieval Times.
It's fine.
They're just really bad to their actors.
Yeah, well, there's that too.
But yeah, I really love it. I cannot wait. I'm trying to go to more Ren Fairs just in general. Like, not just Florida. Like, I've been to most of them in Oregon. I'm going to try to go to all of them here in Florida. And I might be going to the ones out in Arizona. Problem is those were also in March, so I got to wait till next year. But highly recommend going to a Ren Fair if you have the opportunity. Maybe I'll actually take pictures of it.
Best I can do for you is June 20th or 21st if you come up here.
What's happening then?
The Black Creek Medieval Fair.
Yeah, there you go. Close enough. All that said and done.
Which is at this really interesting place. It's called Black Creek Pioneer Village, which is just kind of like this old, like it's essentially just a place where they take kids on field trips from school, but I've never been there as an adult. So it would be interesting to go there as an adult for an adult thing as opposed to just watching them churn butter as like a 13-year-old on a field trip.
So weird fun fact for you, we had one of those field trips. I feel like at most like elementary or middle school has that.
Yeah, most cities have something like this within a drive.
I missed out on my field trip for that when I was a kid because my parents were taking me to Disney.
It sounds better anyway.
I was pissed. Because I was looking forward to this trip. I was a kid. I didn't know what's what. They also didn't tell me we were going to Disney. It was just, we're driving Dad to the airport. He has to go on a business trip. Why are our bags also packed? I was such a shit to my parents until I was like getting on the plane and realized where we were going.
Orlando.
They have never stopped giving me shit for that, as they should.
I mean, as I should, yeah.
All right. Aside, let's do this thing. Let's talk about some news. Mitch, where do you want to start? We got a few different fun things. We can hit the small stuff really quickly and spend the bulk of our time talking Spider-Man. We can start with Spider-Man. How you feeling?
Do you have one of the things that I know came out in the last couple of weeks was just new dates for things?
Yeah.
Do you have the new dates?
I do have the new dates.
Let's start there because I think there's some fun stuff to talk about.
Yeah,
we got to make a wait for Spider-Man.
We'll make y'all wait. You got to get through the other stuff first. We got a bunch of new reopening dates. Mitch, if you didn't know, folks, a lot of stuff is under construction at Disney right now.
I meant film dates, but we can start with attractions.
Oh, sure. Film dates. Film dates is part of the investor call, which is kind of bigger.
Oh, okay, yeah, makes sense.
But I want to talk about this because we're finally getting Bluey in May. At least.
I mean, didn't Bluey already come to California?
It opened in California the day we're recording this.
Yeah, I was seeing some things on my my social feed,
and I'm excited for it. I will go out and check it out, even though I absolutely will be making way for any and all kids there because that's much more their thing. Blue is fantastic for everyone. It's one of those kids shows that makes adults cry a lot.
Yeah, I like it's one of the things we'll put on for our son. He doesn't watch much TV, but when he does, it's usually just Bluey, and hard to sit through that as a parent.
Oh, yeah. There's some episodes there I'm like, this is kids TV? But yeah, May 26th, the Blue Experience will be opening up at the Conservation Station in Animal Kingdom. This is officially taken over the animation drawing class out there. Don't worry, folks, drawing class is coming back in a horrifying way that I absolutely hate. But we'll talk about it. Alongside that May 26th date, that's opening. Another major thing is opening on May 26th, though. And that is the Animation Courtyard.
Which Griffin hates.
I both love and hate. There's one specific part of it that I hate. And
that is the fact that the drawing class is no longer being taught by an actual person. There will not be a human being there. It is a screen with a voiceover Olaf teaching you how to draw Olaf.
Mm-hmm. So they will still be teaching you more characters than just Olaf. But everything is going to be pre-recorded video with Olaf talking. I hate this. I don't think it's surprising that I hate this. A lot of the internet is not happy with this. Something that made those old drawing classes really, really special is that they were people. That they were actual Disney animators teaching people in the parks how to draw these fantastic characters.
Yeah, because for those who don't know, Hollywood Studios was originally Disney MGM Studios. It was an actual functional production studio, and there was an animation studio in behind the park. So they just had folks who are working come over and teach a class, which was fantastic. And this is definitely, it's trying to maintain that spirit, but in a way that Disney can monopolize, and not necessarily monopolize, but it can reduce the need for actual human beings to do a thing and allows them to build a very repetitive, very expected experience. I think the idea of having live actors for things like The Little Mermaid in Hollywood Studios, Frozen, all of these different stage shows, it was part of that same magic. And this is just, it's not it.
And also when you're putting this up there right next to those stage shows, like Little Mermaid is next door.
Yeah.
Like you have that, and then you also have the Walt Museum, which most people don't really care about. But hey, look, here's this fantastic history of all of these different things that humans were using to make animation. Like, it just does not sit right with me. I understand the reference they're going for. This entire courtyard is going to be is all in reference to the, forget the name of the short, but the short they did with all of the characters for the 100th anniversary.
Oh yeah, I love that short, man.
It's a fantastic short. With that, we got a bunch of characters. There's going to be a meet and greets and whatnot. Shout out, one of them is Rapunzel. Obviously, I don't know everything that's going to be in here. I cannot wait to explore it come May. The other thing opening that day, is going to be the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse or Disney
The
show.
Disney Junior
Yeah.
Live.
Sorry, Disney Junior Mickey Mouse
thing.
Clubhouse Live. There we go.
Close enough.
Very curious to see how this one goes. This is obviously for kids, right? This kind of spot has always been a kids show. Interestingly enough, in the past, it's always been kind of an amalgamation of 3 or 4 different kids shows, kind of all coming together for a celebration. Sounds like this one though is just going to be Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, which I think is interesting.
Once Upon a Studio. I don't know why I couldn't find it on Disney Plus.
I don't know why. It's got to be.
That was the name of the short. No, I was looking through things and it just didn't come up. And yeah, Once Upon a Studio was the name of that short. So good.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Live is not something I have any sort of opinion on, except for the fact that there's a Keyblade in it and that it's fantastic.
Is it though?
Look, anytime I can get anything Kingdom Hearts, anything.
So where's our Kingdom Hearts 2 episode with Ant then?
I gotta replay the game first.
So do I.
Also, I gotta psych myself up for having Ant back on the show.
It's a lot, but it's worth it.
I love that man, but it's chaos. Let's talk Magic Kingdom.
I think before we get off of that, I think there's a couple. Oh yeah, we can do that if you're going park by park, because I know there's a couple other things that are reopening that in that period. I guess the one not to skip over at Hollywood is that we already had an announced date of May 22nd, I believe, for the Mandalorian and Grogu scenes in Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run.
Yeah, I totally passed off of that because it had already been announced. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm making some friends go with me to the parks so that I can experience it and get multiple opinions on that.
And not just be stuck in the engineer role by riding single rider?
No, I want to be on the engineer role for this one.
Well, because apparently there's new stuff that they're doing specific for Grogu with the engineer, right?
Yeah, one of their goals of it, and I love this from a game design perspective, one of their goals was to make the engineer more interesting. And so they gave more roles for that.
I've only ever flown, so I can't complain.
I do primarily engineer.
I've ridden twice. I've piloted twice.
Piloting is hard.
It is, but I'm real good at it.
Yeah, I would say you want someone who plays video games.
You and I need to pilot because you need someone in the other chair that also plays video games.
Yeah, you really need video game players in that pilot seat because they just know what they're doing. Not me though, I suck. Moving over to Magic Kingdom.
I don't believe that.
Let's talk about something I'm really, really excited for because it's just around the corner, and that is the reopening of Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin. God, I hate calling it by its real name.
So mad I missed this.
You're so close. You were off by a month. It's reopening to us on April 8th. I will be calling it Astro Blasters from now on because that's what it should be referred to as.
But it's not. Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. Florida's your home park, Griffin. You got to call it by its actual name and not the one you know from California.
I love Astro Blasters. I love the original version of it. And I loved the California version because they actually had the detachable guns. We did not have that in Buzz Lightyear.
They do now here too.
Do now. The updates look dope. I'm so excited. I will be getting this is my white whale of I need to get the max rank on this thing.
Yeah, and you'll get it. I have faith in you. You'll come out with
I was
that
so
sticker.
excited.
It'll be in a short. You'll be real happy.
It was that thing where I came down and I was like, this is what I'm going to finally do this because it's something I've wanted to do for a while. My father and I have gotten ridiculously competitive about this specific ride. So I'm really, really excited for it to reopen. The other thing we got was a delay. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is still reopening this year. It just won't be reopening until May 2026. They also released some new concept art, kind of showing of hey, here's some of the changes we've made. It looks dope. It's something I check on constantly, and it's okay, carts are running. That's a good sign. We'll see if May sticks. This was supposed to I think this was supposed to reopen last year originally.
I have a feeling it will, because what was the date on Buzz Lightyear? April, right?
April 8th.
I do still think this hits May only because of how much is happening at Hollywood Studios in May. They'll need something that draws crowds away from that park, especially around Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, I I hope so. The only reason why I'm just not 100% like, okay, I'm sold, is that they didn't give us an actual date. They just said May.
That's true. But it's been down for over a year now already, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's why. That said, like, it's not a new ride. It's not a massive refurbishment and change like Buzz Lightyear is.
I would say it is a massive refurbishment. When you replace the entire track on a roller coaster, there is a lot of testing that has to go through.
Yeah.
So I think to the
I should
point
say
that you were
it's
about
a
to make
change.
is take your time.
Yeah, I'll say more of a. It's not the same kind of crazy change to a ride. They've added a new effect, right? Yeah. Where it's like, okay, the trains rattle now in this like cavern of fluorescent pools, which I'm like, that's dope. I love that. But it's still Big Thunder Mountain. It's not this massive train, so I could just see them just opening up in May and never actually giving us a date.
No, I think they will give a date, just because with the way trips are planned, people will want an actual date before it reopens, and that's just Disney's MO. They don't usually just shadow drop these things, right?
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think they ever have shadow dropped any.
Not really, right? So they'll announce. They always announce when things like the Buzz Lightyear refurbishment's pretty major, and that got a date. So I don't see why this would be any different. The lack of a date, though, to your point, I wouldn't be surprised if this slips further into the summer. And obviously, like, it would be a shame to see this reopen in May, and then by July, August, when the heat is at its peak, they have to close it because that rumble effect stops working. Thinking back to Expedition Everest and some of the things that have gone on there when they've tried to introduce some novel effects. So obviously take your time, test it under the worst conditions you can, which is going to be June, July, and reopen it, or open it early and expect that you're only going to run one train on most days, because you're going to have things you're going to try to be fixing as you go, right?
Oh yeah. Well, first off, I think there is only one train on this one.
I thought they run two.
Well, that's
right. California.
You're thinking California. There's only one track.
There's only one track. Okay, yeah. I was thinking California, where they have the two load stations.
Yeah. They technically have the two load stations, but they go one after the other.
Yeah.
They're the same track.
It's the same in California.
Oh, then I'm just dumb.
No, you're not. It's just been a while. I
haven't ridden this ride
more recently than you have. So
obviously I haven't ridden this ride in a while because I haven't been able to.
No, because it's been close. And
I'm so excited though. Like, Big Thunder is one of my favorite rides ever.
Yeah.
So me too. Come back. I love the lore of this ride too.
I'm very excited on our next trip, whenever that might be. I want to wait until Owen's tall enough to ride it, because I think that's going to be a great first roller coaster.
I want to do a video about this at some point, and maybe it's a video essay style thing. But there's these comic books called Disney Kingdoms that Marvel put out that tell the lore of these different rides. There's a Figment one that's great. But my favorite of them...
I've only read the Haunted Mansion one thus far.
I'll say my favorite one is Big Thunder Mountain. Because it tells the story of why they shut down the mine. It is great. I love it. We got one more date for y'all before we jump out of this one and into the next thing. And that is Blizzard Beach. Or sorry, not Blizzard Beach. It's water parks. Blizzard Beach officially reopened back in February, which means Typhoon Lagoon is currently closed. Typhoon Lagoon is planning to reopen on May 15th. So if you are a water park lover and want to check those out, you will be able to go back on May 15th.
Go to Universal instead.
You know, still haven't gone over to that Universal one.
I've heard it's good. I'm not much of I love water parks, but I need to lose weight before I start frequenting them again, because I don't like getting turned away.
So here was my trick. I added the water parks to my annual pass for this year. Because first off, as far as annual pass cost goes, you go like once or twice and you're covered. But also, it forces me to actually be ready. All right. That's all we got for that one. Let's talk some movie dates, Mitch. I'm sure this is what you were excited for. We had an investor call.
Were we going to talk about the big TV controversy from this past week, though?
Oh, you want to talk about The Bachelor?
Not really, but I feel like we're going to. Yeah, let's do it.
I got nothing really to say other than this shit's crazy.
Like, they knew she was crazy before they booked her for the show. Like, Disney is one of those companies that does such vigorous background checks on everything. Like, they knew the crazy they were getting into.
Look, there is a level of crazy that is accepted, especially in particular when it comes to reality TV.
I suppose.
And I think there is a level of that there was expected for But let's talk about the actual bit of this because this happened like 2 days ago. Taylor Frankie Paul was supposed to be the newest star of The Bachelorette. That season
wasn't
has officially
supposed to be. The season has been filmed and was completed.
Was it released though?
No, it was not, and you're about to say why.
Yeah, basically this lady's crazy. I'm trying to bring up a proper news article, but everything keeps being blocked.
I'm sure I've got something here. Hold on. I had it. It was one of these.
All right, here we go. I am pulling this from the New York Times, written by Madison Kirscher. ABC announced on Thursday that it would not air the new season of The Bachelorette this spring after the leak of a 2023 video showing the show's lead, Taylor Frankie Paul, attacking an ex-boyfriend. The extraordinary 11th hour decision to cancel the already filmed season of television has had a ripple effect, blah, 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 blah. In early March, Jamila Bell, a content creator in Atlanta, was approached by an agency offered to pay her to record an ad for social media. The purpose of the video to promote the coming season of The Bachelorette, starring Miss Paul, who first found fame on TikTok and later on the reality show The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Miss Bell, who frequently posts content about reality television, though not yet this particular franchise, said she felt the promotion was a good fit and agreed to participate. After some back and forth with the representative, Miss Bell said she and the agency agreed on a script. Okay, this is just talking about her. Sorry, I have not actually properly read this article before. It's talking about that. Okay, here we go. The video showing Miss Paul in a violent altercation with her ex, Dakota Mortensen, came on the heels of reports of another domestic violence incident that the police in Draper, Utah contacted Miss Paul and Mr. Mortensen about late last month. The Draper police confirmed this week to the New York Times that there was an open domestic violence investigation related to Miss Paul and Mr. Mortensen. After the 2023 episode, Miss Paul was charged with aggravated assault and domestic violence in the presence of a child. Her arrest was featured prominently in the first season of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. The newly released video of the same incident, however, appeared to change the calculation for ABC. This article goes into a lot more of this, ABC's decision, a lot more of the actual reactions to it, but I think that gives you a good case here. What the fuck were they thinking over at ABC?
Brand synergy, I guess.
I mean, I know exactly what they were thinking. The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives was insanely popular amongst that audience.
They are trying to capture the TikTok audience on The Bachelorette, is exactly what it was. They're trying to get more conversion from social media to traditional cable TV.
Also, as well, like they keep trying to find new ways to make The Bachelor and The Bachelorette more relevant again. That thing was wildfire when it first started, and where it's at now with just, the litany of dating shows we now have, it just isn't anymore. They've tried things. They did it with like the Bachelor, who was like in his 50s. That feels
the Golden Bachelor.
The Golden Bachelor. Thank you.
I got you. My family is all into some of this stuff, so it's going to be disappointing for them not getting a new season of The Bachelorette this year.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, no, they probably shouldn't have filmed this to begin with. No,
they shouldn't have. But they did, and this is the repercussions of it.
Oh, yeah. This is one of those ones where it's like, I'm not even going to blame Disney. I'm going to blame ABC for this one. Hey, ABC, what the fuck, man? Come on.
They weren't thinking.
Yeah. All right, let's talk more dates, because dates are what we talk about here, apparently. Hey, Mitch,
we're talking about Spider-Man.
Yeah, well, 40 minutes to get to anything. Did you know there was an investor call recently?
I heard.
Did you also hear from Instagram the day after, like I did?
I did, because I think that also happened the week that I was away, so I wasn't really keeping.
It's so funny to be like, we were so good, like the last couple of years we do episodes talk about the investor call and whatnot. I'd normally listen into the investor call. I didn't know that shit was happening at all.
Nope.
But not a bunch of interesting stuff. Josh D'Amaro is now at the helm of things, and it was kind of his first chance to talk about a lot of stuff. And this man has already been talking up a lot of game. We have this big thing from him, right, about how they're pushing off the initial plans for Villains Land a little bit and reworking it to make it even better, which I'm very happy about. They should have been doing that in the first place. But in this investor call, we got a couple of interesting new pieces of news. The first being a brand new cruise ship, the Disney Believe. This is going to be the fourth ship in this new fleet. The theme is all about promise and possibilities. They're going to feature IP across all of their brands, but the ones that were kind of shouted out in note were Encanto, Frozen, Moana, and Snow White. I love the cruise ship stuff. I'd love to go on a Disney cruise again. Man, that shit is expensive. But that's not the interesting thing here. We got 2 new movie announcements, Mitch. For 2028. One, a sequel that we all saw coming, and one, a sequel that I never expected. The first is we got a official release date for Lilo and Stitch 2.
Which was obviously going to happen.
Did you see what
too much money?
Did you see what happened on the tweet with this movie?
No.
So they put up the thing where it's like the Ohana is back, and there was a community note on it.
Oh god.
The Ohana does not exist, as Lilo was given up to the state at the end of this movie.
I mean, they're not wrong. Unfortunately,
look, I still don't like the live action one. I understand why this is getting a second one. We'll be there to talk about it in 2028. The other 2028 announcement, Incredibles 3.
Yeah, that happened.
I genuinely was not expecting Incredibles 3 to be made.
I don't know how I feel about that either, because like I didn't love the second one. The first one's one of my favorite movies of all time. So like just to get another one, I don't know if I'm ready for that, to be honest.
It's one of those things where it's like, okay, Brad Bird's back on it, so it's like, okay, we got that much going for it at least. And the director on it that is attached to it is Peter Sohn. He has directed a few things. I'm looking through. Come on, where are you? I know he was the director on The Good Dinosaur, but that's obviously not like
not a comparison you want to draw.
Feature films. He was the director on Elemental. That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
So the dude can do good storytelling. I am curious to see how this goes. Oh, and also one of my favorite things ever for this man. This man got to voice one of the greatest Pixar characters in existence.
Okay.
In the game Disney Infinity. He was the voice of Squishy.
I thought you were going to say Figment.
No, Pixar characters.
Close enough.
Now it's one of those where it's like, right, like, okay, I understand the Pixar process of make a couple of originals, make an original, make a couple sequels, make another original, make a couple sequels. We're getting...
It seems to be their MO at this point.
Yeah. And they kind of have a cycle as well of 1 or 2 movies a year, which has always worked well. We're in a 2-movie year this year, which I'm very happy about. But yeah, it makes sense for them to put this out in 2028. I'm interested to see what else they're working on. Not the sequel I would have expected, though.
No, me neither. But obviously, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, it could be a Toy Story 3. It could also be a Toy Story 4.
Yeah, I think it's one of those where it's like, we have literally no details.
Yeah.
We don't have a plot synopsis. We don't have anything. We just know it's happening. They haven't, or I guess, Holly Hunter has said that they have started voice recording, which makes sense that it's a very early part of that process. Anything can happen though, right? Who knows?
Yeah, we just don't know.
The interesting thing for me in this though is like looking back at it like Pixar, right? If I'm being honest, I'm not really sure what other stuff they would make a sequel of in this moment. It's like, okay, well, they already announced that they're making a Monsters, Inc. sequel. They already announced that they're making a Coco sequel.
Yeah, that one had been announced either last year or the year before.
It's like, okay, they're not gonna do another Finding Nemo.
We say that, but we got Finding Dory like a decade after the first, so I wouldn't be surprised if they try to reopen that IP.
Well, yeah, but
eventually.
Finding Dory didn't do great.
Did The Incredibles 2 do well enough to warrant another sequel?
Apparently. What? Oh, 1.243 billion.
Okay, yeah, it did. Never mind.
Yeah, like
Gun to my head, I couldn't tell you what that movie was about.
I would like I could see them doing like another Cars. But
Cars is almost a guarantee. That franchise makes them too much money on merchandise alone.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Cars 3 did 3. Well, so Cars 3 was not great as far as financial numbers. It only made 383.9 million. Which is hilarious because I think it is the best Cars film. And that they kind of relegated it to the short series on Disney Plus.
Yeah, Cars on the Road, which I never finished.
Mm-hmm. So then, like, you kind of look to the more recent stuff, and it's like Onward. Onward never really got a chance. It releasing in March of 2020. Like, it was never going to happen. Soul, I love it. Most people don't. Luca, really fun. I do not see them ever doing a sequel for Luca.
No, it didn't do well. Like they
Luca
tend not to do sequels for
Luca
Pixar films
actively
either.
lost them money.
Yeah.
Luca had a budget of 120 million and it made 51 million. Like they're never gonna go back to Luca. Turning Red, again, lost them money. I do not see them going back to it, which is a shame. Elemental, I could actually see them doing a sequel to Elemental. Elemental made them money, not a lot, but it did still do a little bit over double its budget. And it's definitely got its hooks into more people when it went onto Disney Plus.
Yes.
And then you get into the most recent one where it's like it's been too recent. Like Elio came out last year. We never talked about it, but it was solidly fine. It didn't do incredible at the box office.
No, it did not.
And then right now, Hoppers, which I think is great. We'll do an episode on it eventually.
Okay, so just behind the curtain, our son got sick this week, so we couldn't go to daycare. We couldn't have anyone watch him because it was communicable. So once he's cleared and can go back to daycare, we'll get a sitter. And the plan is date night this week is Hoppers. Mm-hmm. So knock on wood, we can put something in the books for next weekend, but I'll let you know.
Yeah, just let me know. It's a great movie though. I love it, and it is making more money. It is currently sitting at 242.6 million, based off of a 150 million budget. So it's making money.
Is it making enough money? Is the problem?
That is always the question. I will say these numbers were pulled yesterday. All things considered, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
For a original.
I mean, we can say that, but doesn't meet Disney's benchmark for.
I was gonna say I'm thinking in terms of Disney's thought process here. This is a original film that they did very little promotion for. And it is there's a lot of buy-in that you need going into it. And I think that it's doing a pretty good job. And it's getting a very good critical response as well. This is the kind of film that might get them back to Best Animated Feature. Which I think is at a point where like Disney or Pixar have to release something that gets them back to that point.
I agree. It's just really hard with what Sony Animation's been doing, and I would love to have an episode where you and I just talk about the fall of Disney and the rise of Sony Animation.
Mm-hmm. But I want to talk about that, especially with that, because I don't think it's a fall of Disney. I think it's a rise of everybody else. I think everybody else is finally at the level.
We would have a very interesting conversation around that because I think there's a bit of both in there.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah,
at least post Turning Red, I would say. When it comes to Pixar, at least.
Okay, I got one other piece of news, and then we're gonna jump into Spider-Man, and that's just that Disney Adventure World is open at Disneyland Paris now.
I mean, before we get there, I also want to just quickly shout out the 2 new Pixar projects that were announced. Oh No, Ghost Market, centered on a supernatural bazaar where living and dead interact, which definitely has Coco vibes, but I'm very interested to see where they take that, assuming some sort of, Japanese Oni vibes and stuff from that. That should be really cool. Taking inspiration from Asian myths. The second, a new project from Turning Red director Domi Shi, is a rebellion against the traditional Disney musical.
Right, I
And
forgot
it
we
will
talked
be a
about
Pixar
this.
musical.
I'm very
Which
excited for a Pixar
That
musical.
is probably my most anticipated film of the moment.
Yeah, those will be incredible. I'm very excited for both of them. Obviously, we don't know anything
Domichi
else.
seems like a very central
Also,
creator when it comes to Pixar's plans, and I can't wait to see the next thing that she does.
hey, yo, investor calls. This is how you announce shit. Give us a synopsis. I don't need to know that it's a sequel to The Incredibles. I need to know what it's about.
I mean, people need to know it's a sequel to The Incredibles because to get investor support, they need to know that they're going back to the IP well because the IPs make the money.
I know, like,
Unfortunately.
your average investor doesn't give a shit what the movie is about. They just want to know that it's going to make money, and obviously The Incredibles will make money. It's The Incredibles. But still, I just give us some information, please. I'm not asking. I'm literally asking for, like, the sentence-long synopsis description. That's all I need.
Something for us to talk about here other than it's happening, which is the exact way we talked about Toy Story 5 for the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. Last bit here. They open up new shit in Paris. World of Frozen's open now. Has your social media bitch been dominated by this?
No, it's been dominated by two things: the Olaf animatronic and the Tangled ride.
Same. I need to get on this Tangled ride, man.
Paris is our next trip. I was talking with my wife about that today. If we go anywhere in the next 3 to 4 years, Owen can really appreciate it, it's going to be Paris, especially because this first flight that we took is kind of a trial run. Dude slept right through it.
Yeah, I've been wanting to make my way out to Paris for a little while now for Disney Adventure World, particularly for Avengers Campus out there.
Yes, I do want to ride their Rock and Roller Coaster. Because for those who don't know, Rock and Roller Coaster was rethemed out there as an Iron Man Avengers roller coaster. And that sounds really cool. Because I love Rock and Roller Coaster.
But it looks very, very cool out there. Everything World of Frozen looks very cool. I hope we get some of that tech out here in the West. And with the creation of Villains Land and whatnot, I would not be surprised if we did get some of it. Paris.
I mean, just the rumors of Villains Land, the fact that the marquee attraction is rumored to be an Emperor's New Groove Yzma's roller coaster, which is just kind of perfect.
We'll see.
Like, give me Yzma's coaster as a drop coaster or something, the first drop coaster in a Disney park, and I would be happy camper.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see if any of this stuff comes out here, and obviously I'm very excited to for this park out in Paris. Especially with the brand change and now that it's Disney Adventure World.
I mean, there's been a lot of I wouldn't say there has been a negative connotation around the second gate in Paris for a very long time. It's part of the reason why we haven't made that trip yet. The other was having a newborn, but with what they've done here, they've basically doubled the size of that second park, and that half of the park is just Frozen, which is kind of insane. Plus this Tangled ride and a couple of other smaller attractions. So I'm very curious to see now between Avengers, Frozen, what they already had at Disneyland Paris itself. It does seem like you've got a full 2-day experience there now, whereas before people were saying about Adventure or the former, Walt Disney Studios Park, now Disney Adventureland, was that you could skip it. And thinking of a gate at any of these parks as skippable is laughable because people talk about Animal Kingdom in that same vein. And you and I have both argued for the idea that Animal Kingdom is a full day park.
It's a full day park. It's not even the most skippable park. I also want to quickly...
I mean, right now it would be Hollywood Studios unless you're really into Star Wars. But that will change with Monsters, Inc. and the Animation Courtyard and...
The Animation Courtyard is not going to change much, let's be honest.
Muppets will.
Oh, Muppets definitely will. The other thing I just want to backtrack real quick, and we talked about the Iron Man ride in there. Iron Man and Captain Marvel.
Oh, my apologies.
Look, my favorite character.
Any excuse to talk about Brie Larson on this podcast, I will take. Well,
I'll tell you what.
When are we doing our episode on the Super Mario Galaxy movie, Griffin? That comes out this week too.
Is that this week?
April 1st. Or wait, no, that's next week. Comes out next week. April 1st.
Okay, we'll do it next week then.
Okay, that just means I got to see Hoppers first. Goddamn.
I was like, this is gonna backfire on you, and you know that.
1,000%.
All right, we put it off long enough. We're 50 minutes into this podcast.
I'm so tired.
This is the part that's we'll, if we ever clip out again, we'll clip it out. Yeah, Spider-Man Brand New Day is here. So it's like, I'm gonna just go ahead and write down this code, time code, as I send us to black.
For when you decide that you're going to break this out into its own episode, because we're already at almost an hour, and we're going to talk for the next 3 hours.
We are not going to talk about it for the next 3 hours, maybe for the next 20 minutes.
Okay.
We got a trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day, releasing in theaters
We
July 31st.
didn't just get a trailer. We got a trailer that broke the record for the most views in 24 hours.
With a runtime.
718 plus million views in his first 24 hours online.
It released on March 18th, 4 days ago, at the time of recording this. It is currently sitting at 25,241,434 views. Which I account for at least 100 of those views.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Man, this movie. I am very, very curious about this movie now.
This was my most anticipated film of the year, even with Avengers Doomsday being there, largely on the story writing capability and the storytelling capability, of Dustin Daniel Cretton, which after we recently talked about Wonder Man, you can go listen to our episode on that. I have full faith that this movie is going to deliver the gut punch of a Spider-Man story that I look for from this character. Spider-Man being my favorite character in fiction. So the combination of Tom Holland in the role, Cretton directing, there's nothing about this that I think can go wrong. And from what we saw in this first trailer and all of the misdirection and all of the smoke and mirrors that are in this trailer itself, same way we got with No Way Home, I can't wait.
I am so curious to see if they pull this one off, man.
They have to.
I think so I've always been concerned about this movie. Invoking the name Brand New Day is a big swing. This is Spider-Man we're talking about here. This is the most popular comic book character.
It's Spider-Man and Batman. Pick your poison.
Brand New Day is a very important comic book. And it was set up by one of the worst comic books ever written. I'm so curious to see if they're going to pull this off, and we obviously kind of had made some assumptions with it being Brand New Day of, okay, so it's going to be Mr. Negative, and it sounds like it's going to be a whole lot more than just that. We got Scorpion in this thing, finally.
Boomerang, Tarantula.
We saw them.
What appears to be the Hand, although you have some theories to the contrary.
So I do think it is the Hand. I think the Hand makes the most sense. But you and I were talking about it's like, oh, what story are they pulling from?
Eman Esfandi might be playing your least favorite character in all of Marvel Comics.
We're gonna get to that.
Okay.
They have to name that motherfucker Paul. Fuck it, we're gonna do it right now.
Paul.
They gotta name him Paul. The bit is too good.
To go from Ezra to Paul, talk about fall from grace.
Dude, I look at him, I'm like, first off, how dare you? And oh, hi, Ezra. They have to go for the bit here, right? They gotta name this motherfucker Paul.
But also, even the shot we got of Tremel Tillman, who seems to be coming in as an authority figure for the Department of Damage Control. I do think that they're setting up Damage Control to be the anti-mutant force in the MCU as they start to build towards more mutants and the X-Men specifically, where I think, you set Tremel Tillman up in that role to be the main antagonist of the first X-Men project that comes out, and I'm he's such a good actor. So just to see him in that position, I think is going to be really interesting. And then the one thing that really got me, and I'm curious to get your thoughts here too, you have that voiceover with one of the most iconic voices, I would say, in cinema.
Maybe.
He's up there. But with the story they seem to be telling...
Well, I think we know his character.
I think it's Doc Connors.
I say, yeah, I think they've said he's Doc Connors.
Have they said it? Because they don't even mention that it's him. anywhere.
I mean, leave it to Marvel, right?
That's just what they do, right?
Let's talk about everyone that's in this movie because it's just insane. Obviously, Tom Holland and Zendaya, as well as Jacob Batalon back as Ned Leeds. We got John Bernthal in here. We got Mark Ruffalo in here. We've got Sadie Sink playing an unknown character, but we all are pretty much just assuming that she's playing Jean Grey.
I don't think she is, but we'll get to that. Continue.
I still think she's Rachel Masters. Just because that's the kind of shit that they would do to us. We've also got Tremel Tillman. Fresh off of Succession, this man, I will watch him in Severance. I will watch this man in literally anything. I was sitting down the other night. Nope, never mind. I'm thinking of someone else. Moving along. We've got Michael Mando back as Scorpion. We've got Marvin Jones III back as Tombstone. That's right. More people back from the Netflix series.
Yeah, the not even from the Netflix series. The person presenting him with the key to the city is Fisk's assistant,
Sabrina Guevara. Right? Sabrina Guevara, reprising her role as Sheila Rivera from Daredevil: Born Again. We've got Liza Colon-Zayas and Keith David as undisclosed roles. Every single person.
Keith David almost assuredly playing Doc Connors.
Yeah, like it just sounds perfect.
Or Norman Osborn would kind of also be perfect.
I say it would be kind of crazy for them not to finally introduce Oscorp.
I don't think they have to with everything that's going on here, unless it's like the final tease of the person who's been outfitting all these villains is Norman Osborn, which would tie into what we saw even in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
I could see it. I could also see them going the route from that show, right? Of the person now outfitting them as Ben Doc Ock.
Yeah. Oh, Keith David is a Doc Ock in this version.
I don't think he's
Spider-Man.
I don't think he's outfitting him,
but no,
I think
he's Doc
Connors.
Connors.
I think he's Doc Connors. And then Boomerang and Tarantula, potentially the Hand as well.
Punisher, John Bernthal. I think you mentioned.
I'm very curious though to see who Liza Colon-Zayas is playing. And I do
still think she's playing.
I was gonna say, my prediction. I don't know if they'll do it, just because they already have this massive success right with Into the Spider-Verse. But I saw a theory of her playing Rio Morales.
I was gonna say I think she's playing Rio Morales, and I do think that one kid from Stranger Things is going to be introduced in this movie as Miles Morales.
See, I just don't think they'll introduce Miles yet. That's my only thing.
Post-credit or something, he'll be introduced in this movie.
I don't know if you introduce Miles until the final Into the Spider-Verse movie's out. Like, I genuinely think you wait.
I think you do, but I also think that this is Sony we're talking about, not Marvel exclusively.
True.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they try to create that synergy between the MCU and the Spider-Verse films.
But again, if Liza Colon-Zayas is the actress,
she'd make a great Rio Morales. I'm not gonna lie.
That is casting for me at least on the level of Chris Evans as Captain America. Like, I love her. I love this actress. She's playing right now one of my favorite characters in TV.
In The Bear.
Like,
I still gotta catch up on that show.
And she has a history in like more action roles. Like I could very much. She's played practically anything and everything. If you just look at like her history, I could see her doing incredible in that role. But yeah, let's talk about plot, because that's the thing that scares me the most about this movie. There's a lot going on in this movie.
There is, but I do think that what's at the center of this movie, and I know when I texted you in this trailer drop that Neogenic Nightmare is happening live action. I can't wait. I actually don't think they're doing that.
I don't.
Now that I can't see
them
a little bit more.
Neogenic Nightmare.
And the reason I say that is because I don't think Sadie Sink is playing Jean Grey. I think Sadie Sink is actually playing Adriana Soria, also known as the Queen or the Spider Queen, and we're getting the Spider Island story instead.
Oh, you're going that far. You're crazy.
I'm going that direction. I think they're going to lean heavy on this being a Spider-Man story and avoid anything else that's happening in the wider MCU. And this is going to be Manhattan is Spider Island. She's trying to manipulate Peter. She's causing these mutations that make him think and makes the audience think, who grew up on the 90s Spider-Man show, they're going the Neogenic Nightmare route. They've got Punisher. They could throw Morbius in there for all I care, even though, please, for the love of God, don't do that. But I do think that that's the route they're going as a swerve on what the audience is expecting, which is Jean Grey ties into the bigger MCU, team ups to stop the Hand. Whereas I do think, like I said earlier, these trailers are being digitally manipulated. I honestly don't think it's the Hand, because I think there's probably something else in there that Punisher, Daredevil, and Spider-Man are fighting. And I think it's spiders. I don't think it's the Hand or spider mutated individuals, whatever it might be. I do think that the Spider Queen is the ultimate antagonist of this film.
The more I think about it, I do think it is the Hand. I know I was saying earlier to you that I don't think it was the Hand. I was thinking it could be something of like doing something with the other. But the other's always kind of been more mystical in that regard.
Yeah.
No, so for reference, there's two storylines they could very much be pulling from. Either Neogenic Nightmare. I guess Spider Island is the third now, because you're throwing out an insane theory.
I'm throwing out crazy here.
Neogenic Nightmare would make sense, right? Mentioned with Morbius, with Punisher, Kraven in that one.
Please don't do Morbius and Kraven. Please, for the love of God, just we don't ever need to see those characters again.
The other was Spider-Man versus Morlun. Morlun is from a group called the Inheritors. They were the villains of the original comic book for Spider-Verse. But basically what happens here is that Spider-Man is pushed in his initial fight to such a length that like the other, which is like this cosmic spider deity, takes over his body, kills Morlun, does a bunch of crazy shit, plays with a bunch of Peter Psyche, and that's how he like literally like goes kind of more man spidery, but not full man spider. Yeah. It's an insane story. I don't think they would pull all of it from it, but with them doing kind of this him getting
the natural webbing, the blackouts,
like it feels like it would make sense to me for some of that. Of like he is going to reach a point in this where he's at such a peak stress that shit goes bad.
See, the reason my brain went to Spider Island or the Spider Queen specifically is because we get these shots of a hooded figure who we've all speculated is going to be Sadie Sink, manipulating people, doing some mind control things. But I don't think that it is Jean Grey. If it is Spider Queen, then it could just be, she's found a mechanism, whether it be through a team up with Kingpin or somebody else to just manipulate the citizens of New York, and folks have been infected with the spider gene, the insect gene, whatever they're going to call it, and that allows her to manipulate these individuals, in addition to causing this break-in psyche, this break-in ability that Spider-Man's going through. It's likely a combination of the stress of being isolated, and we've seen them go this way with Spider-Man before, where he loses his identity as Peter Parker, dives headlong into being Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is not like, you need Peter Parker to have Spider-Man. Spider-Man without Peter Parker is not the same Spider-Man, and I feel like they're getting into some of that story as well, which I think is going to be really interesting to unpack, since we do see that MJ and Ned are literally his neighbor, which is not good for his mental well-being.
Oh God, no.
Which could allow a character like the Spider Queen to manipulate Peter to a degree that.
So I still don't think it's the Spider Queen.
All of his spider stuff.
I still think it's Mr. Negative in all of this. One of the interesting things in this was that he could only possess one person at a time. Like, very clearly it was that. And with the black eyes for Peter, I could very much see that being Mr. Negative using his powers on him. I think it's really hard for me to separate Brand New Day from being a Mr. Negative story. Like, if you're using that, I feel like that's kind of a requirement. That said, I think Sadie Sink I do think she's Jean Grey. Like, I don't think that Sadie Sink is the one chained up in that, like,
that shot of the hooded figure.
Not that the hood, or I don't forget if she was wearing a hood, but when like the walls are like being moved up to reveal this this like kind of pseudo apartment cage,
Right.
that like everyone's just like, yeah, okay, that's clearly Sadie Sink's character. I don't know if it's Sadie Sink. I think, and I also don't know if that's Jean Grey. I think that's Silk.
That would be an interesting way for them to go, especially because we know, I mean, spoilers for a lot of things at this point. But that is also teased at the end of Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 5. So if that is a way that they want to go to make sure that these characters exist in more than one form of media, that drives a lot of synergy. I think there's also still the possibility that Sadie Sink plays Gwen Stacy, and that Keith David's character may not necessarily be Doc Connors, but could be another biology professor at
Empire State.
Empire State, that being Miles Warren.
That could always be interesting.
I would love to see them go that route because we have not seen the character of the Jackal in live action. That would be really cool.
Such a hard character to do.
And that would ultimately make Keith David the one big baddie of this movie.
See, I would love it, but also you do the Jackal and you start to deal with clone shit.
You do, but you can also tie it into Wonder Gore Mountain shit.
Yeah, maybe.
And tie it back to Strange in the last Spider-Man movie. So
yeah,
that also kind of makes sense, right? Like there's so many ways they can go with this.
See, for what they're doing though, is I don't think they'd want to do Clone Saga.
I don't either. I think that's opening
in fact,
a can of worms.
I think you want to avoid Clone Saga at all costs.
They want to get to Miles in the MCU, I think, faster than anything else at this point.
Like, I think the other thing for me, I'm worried there's way too much happening in this movie, just in general. Like, I think adding in the level of complexity that adding in the Miles Warren and the clones would add, it's just too much.
It is. I think we're just speculating at this point. I don't think it's going to be too much once we get it.
If anyone's,
I think there are going to be a lot of people that are let down because it doesn't fit their fan theories. But ultimately, I think this is going to be really great.
So here's a question: who the hell is Tremel Tillman playing?
He's
name's Bill.
Some sort of administrator at the Department of Damage Control. He's the boss of the other dude we've seen in everything.
I could see
strings.
I could see it. Obviously,
because I think they're setting up the DODC as the main mutant antagonist, and that is a good way to tie it in. Just having a very, very recognizable actor, or very, very good actor, I would say, being central to that plot.
I mean, yeah, it makes what's the name? It's the MRD. Maybe he's the one that makes it. I could see that. I like the idea of him being like kind of that of everything's fine. I could also see him going more along the lines of he is just damage control. He doesn't go full evil fuck mutants. And then we end up seeing him in something like Young Avengers when they're having to inevitably face the government, because that just seems kind of where they're going with that storyline.
So I've been Googling a little bit. Tremel Tillman is confirmed to be playing William Metzger, who will be the director of the Department of Damage Control.
Yeah. Hell yeah!
So I'm here for it.
I think that's an original character too. I don't recognize the name.
No, I think the character exists in the comics, but not.
Yeah, he's
he's a significant way. He's anti-mutant.
He's
an
anti-mutant activist.
I think they can,
it's this guy. Okay.
Yeah.
He's reoccurring. Well,
he is.
Children of the Atom, but
so that's
fun fact: he gets killed by Magneto.
Mutants and have the Department of Damage Control be that through line.
I could very much see that.
Like DODC creates the Sentinels, or we haven't even talked about the fact that Mark Ruffalo is back as Bruce Banner / the Hulk. Could it be that they found a way to, or he has, offered his tech to the DODC to control dangerous individuals? And
I don't think he's related to that. I think he's entirely.
I don't. But
it looks like he's teaching. It looks like Bruce is teaching a class on time travel
at ESU.
ESU, and I think that's the extent of that. I don't think a lot of people were worried that he was like, oh, Bruce is going to be the mentor figure to Peter now, and it's like, no, I don't think they're
Doesn't
doing
seem that
that.
way. That looks more like a cameo than anything else. But
If-
I think as well,
I think it's
like,
just this is the easiest person to that we have in the MCU at the moment to explain what's happening within Peter's biology.
he's the only science dad left alive, so it's got to be Mark Ruffalo.
Without fully
But
introducing,
it could also just be that they find a way to reverse engineer that Hulk tech and use that as a mutant suppressant, and we get like the anti-mutant colors and stuff through that.
I could definitely see them doing something like that. There's so much that could happen with this. Trying to look through all of this and see what else we got. Obviously, I don't think we've never actually probably said it, but man, the actual like cinematography in this looks great.
The colors, the color palettes they've chosen. Will Daredevil show up? Will Kingpin show up? Will Kingpin end up being some sort of antagonist here? We'll find out in a few weeks as we'll get the fallout of whatever happens in Daredevil season 2. That seems like it'll likely tie into this in some fashion.
Yeah, I was hoping for a little bit more movement in the camera for this, just especially after what we got for Shang-Chi. I think the part that I specifically go to from that movie for this would be the fight on the side of the building from that movie.
Or the fight in the fight on the bus.
Or the bus, yeah. Like
side of the building was Doctor Strange.
But no, on the side of the building. After the arena.
Oh, the scaffolding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like ultimately though, like everything looks so good. The night shots, him on like the tank.
That was cool.
Looks incredible. And then yeah, that final shot that the internet's been talking about of like him diving down at all these ninjas for we'll just say the hand. I want to know if you buy into this theory that they have digitally removed people from this shot.
They 100% have removed Punisher and Daredevil from this shot. It is going to be a street level story, and it's going to be Daredevil and Punisher.
I don't think there's anybody else in that shot. I think that this is perfect. This, like seeing that shot at the end of this trailer, this is a perfectly composed shot to me.
It seems top heavy.
Well, I think it's because you got him. Everyone else is at the bottom of the shot.
True.
But
the other thing that gives me that pause, and I mean it's not as obvious as it was in the No Way Home trailer with, I believe it was Sandman reacting to being punched or Electro.
Oh yeah, it was someone getting kicked by. It was Lizard getting kicked by Andrew.
By one of the Spider-Man. Yeah. I do think like there's in that shot, if you look at the ninjas at the bottom, they're not looking up at Peter, they're looking straight. So there's something that is below him in that shot, whether it be 1, 2, or more digitally removed characters. There's something there.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, I don't think it's Frank.
Could be Hulk.
Maybe. I would say I don't think it's Frank because how the hell would Frank get there?
It wouldn't be. It could be Frank. You never know. He climbs roofs.
He does not jump off of them.
No, I don't know. Interesting though, going back to your concerns with the cinematography, Brett Pollack is credited right now as the director of photography. He was also in the same role on Wonder Man and American Born Chinese, 2 other productions from Dustin Daniel Cretton. He's a frequent collaborator. So there isn't a lot else on here that really stands out to me. Like he was a
we've talked about him before.
Max Steel.
Yeah, so he did Max Steel. He's done some really great stuff. I fully trust this man. Particularly the one I will always call out is Unicorn Store. Just because is it a great movie? No. Is it one of those movies that Griffin absolutely adores? Yes.
Of course it is.
Mm-hmm. No, I think it's great. I just want a little bit more movement just because it's Spider-Man.
That's true, yeah.
But ultimately, I'm really, really happy with this trailer, and I'm really excited. Last thing for you here. I think we've mentioned a few times. I love the new Spider-Man logo.
I love the new, like the suit itself just feels so.
The suit is so good.
Genuinely Peter, whereas before that's my biggest problem with Homecoming and Far From Home, is they don't feel like Spider-Man stories. They feel like Spider-Man is a side character in a larger Avengers or MCU story with Iron Man and then with Nick Fury. So I loved No Way Home. It's probably top 3, at least top 5 MCU for me. And this seems to be extending that trend for me, at least as a huge Spider-Man fan who was not a huge fan of Homecoming and Far From Home because they didn't feel like Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, see, I love Homecoming. I don't love Far From Home. Homecoming is still like top for the MCU for me. I do think it is.
I still got to do my. I'm saying this now because I need it on tape when I don't meet that deadline. I want to have done my MCU rewatch by the time this comes out on July 31st.
I will say we will have done our re-ranking the MCU episode by then because we need to get it out.
You say that,
but I'm doing it because I am currently like at the end of my rewatch.
Were we doing shows or just movies?
For the rewatch, we're just doing movies. I am watching everything.
I would love to watch everything. I just don't have time to do all the Netflix
I have been
shows
watching
and
everything for the last. I've been doing this for the last 2 years.
Yeah, I can't. I can't do that kind of time.
But
I'm certainly going to watch Iron Man when we're done here.
To the point of
to watch Zootopia 2.
To the point of the suit, the way the trailer starts off is so perfect for like this is where Peter's at, where it is showing him and like you see the ripples in the air in his suit, him actually having to wash his suit. Peter is broke and depressed, and it is perfect, and it makes me very happy.
It's the perfect Peter Parker story.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, we won't really know anything about this movie until we get at least another trailer, or when it finally comes out.
I don't want another trailer. If we get another trailer, I'm not watching it. I just want to go into this movie and be enamored with everything DDC and Tom Holland bring to this character.
Exactly. I mean, it's a good thing we don't really do trailer reacts anymore.
We should. They're kind of the only thing that do numbers, but it's fine.
Yeah, who cares about numbers?
I don't. I just care about coming here, hanging out, and having a good time.
Of course, folks, we will talk all about that in the future. We'll talk more about Disney stuff. We'll finally, hopefully, at some point soon, talk about Zootopia 2.
I'm going to try to watch it tonight, but I make no promises.
Look, I'm only saying it because it's kind of just become a running bit at this point.
Fair enough.
Of course, folks, that's all in the future, so keep an eye out for that on the stuff and the whatnots and all of the things. But until then, thank you for listening. Be good to each other and have a magical day.
Excelsior.